Hi, my name is Leila. You can find me at leilameinke.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I love making really wow cards and showing you guys how you can make them too with supplies that you have, or maybe you'll fall in love, supplies you have to have. If you need anything, I'd love to be your demonstrator if you don't have one already. Today we are going to make a diamond gatefold, and this one is the extra postage version, so I'll talk about that. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple examples of exactly how the card looks and how it operates and how it functions interactively. I'm going to show you step by step how to make the hardest part. There's two hard parts actually. One is getting these side cuts exactly, and the other thing to be careful of is to just get your squares aligned and squared away. So I'm going to show you those two parts. If you want to know all of the measurements and all of the exact steps, to be honest, I've had people follow this exactly without the video. So that's how much care I put into writing my instructions, and that's how much detail. But you can get this printable PDF by clicking on the link below. There's a link to my blog post where I show all the things, and then at the very bottom of that, there's a link to the PDF. If you have any problems getting to anything, let me know. Somebody had a problem getting to the PDF recently. So you can find all the exact products for this one particular card in this PDF. You can find exactly all the measurements, including some specialty notes. But I'm going to show you today how to show the hard parts. And so if I didn't say it already, I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to show you the hard parts, and then I'm going to show you some examples at the end. So let's go ahead and get started with how does it work. So it's basically a gatefold card, and with two squares which are rotated so they become diamonds. A couple things to note about this card: it is not going to fit into your regular A2 envelope. It just isn't. There's no way you can get that. Even though the base is 4 inches, the square is just too wide, so it's not going to fit. It will fit into a 6x6. I thought I had it figured out how to get it into the A2, but I was wrong. So we're just going to stick with this version today. It's probably going to be a package to mail because it's pretty thick. With that said, you can take some shortcuts. It's a 12x12 piece. You can use two-tone. You can use our two-tone cardstock, make it a little bit thinner. Maybe you don't have, I'm still going to mail this one as a package. This is for my friend Linda. She's got 42 years sober. So I'm going to send this to her as a little congratulations. But anyway, you can absolutely make it thinner by maybe leaving off some of the bows and using our two-tone. So, but you can see already, right? That's going to be not as robust as a thicker cardstock. And speaking of thicker cardstock, I'm using our 12x12 basic white thick. I don't know if you knew we had this, but we have 12x12 basic white thick. It is a nice, sturdy, thick, robust piece of cardstock. So I'll just show you. I've already cut it down a little bit, but you score at 2, 4, 8, and 10. And then you come in and you cut it into 4 inches. So that's 12. And you score it at 2, 4, 8, and 10. So that's what I've done for today. Love our basic white thick. So in addition, I'll show you all the other pieces that you need. And then magic of television. I've already glued them, so you're not going to watch me glue them. But you're going to have 2 diamonds at 4x4 thick cardstock. And then on the inside, I just have 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. I didn't line it. On the outside, I had 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 gold. You might be just ever the wise one and cut that little piece out so you can get some die cuts out of it. And then that's 3.5 by 3.5, and you've got 4 pieces at 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, one additional piece at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 for the inside. So again, all in the instructions, but if just you want to see all the pieces that you're going to have, these are all the pieces you're going to be working with. And so, magic of television, I've already glued everything together because I just want to show you the hard part. I'm choosing to make this one all golden white with one little splash of color. So I've glued all my pieces in. I like glue. I've glued this guy for the inside, and I've glued this guy for the front outside. So let's get to the cutting of this guy. To cut this guy, I love our trimmer for exactly this. Pick which direction. Oh, a note about paper. Pick a pattern that you don't, that the directionality doesn't matter. And I'll tell you, with these flowers, you might look at it and say, well, gosh, that's in a certain direction. It's mostly going to be covered up, but in some cases, just pay attention to the directionality of the paper because you're not going to have it straight. You're going to turn it. And I even spent some time trying to like get the flower centered exactly, but then it got all covered up anyway. So I'm going to show you how to cut the inside, and I want this part at the top. So I'm taking these 2 points right here and I'm putting it on the 1 7/8 inch line. This really matters. And I'm doing it at the bottom of our trimmer because it actually goes exactly between the 2 points. You can look at the point right here. That's 1 7/8. Can you see that? No, let me come down a little bit. You can go to the point right there. That's 1 7/8, and then I can come down here and look. That's 1 7/8, and then I'm just going to go ahead and get a really, really good slice off that triangle. I'm going to throw that guy away. I'm just going to flip it over and do the exact same thing. I'm going to get it at 1 7/8 inch here, 1 7/8 inch there. Go ahead and cut that little triangle, and you guys, that's it. Now that probably was easier for you than it was for me to come up with, because when I came up with it, I was trying 1 3/4 and 2. Anyway, I was trying all the inches and all the things, and anyway, I got it. So you don't have to. So that is, I'm just placing it there kind of visually right now just to have a look at it. And then I'm going to close it. And now I'm going to decide where's the top of my front. And I kind of want that, well, I guess I want that big flower at the bottom. So now what I'm doing is I'm just like piecing them together so that I know it looks centered. Now, if you wanted to, you could line it up exactly on your grid paper and get it exactly centered, exactly straight. You can do that. I've been doing it enough with eyeballs that I've been pretty comfortable. But anyway, you be you. Get it exactly as straight and perfect as you like. Don't adhere anything until you like how that looks. Now, on the inside, I'm just going to place a dot of glue until I've got the front placed and I like them both. Then I'll come back in and tuck some glue underneath as well. Why a dot of glue? Because when I put it on here, and I will kind of look at the lines to make sure the triangle's like, is about 1, 2, 3 squares down, 1, 2, 2.5 squares up. So that's about right. That's about right. So what I can do, I can very easily lift that up if I need to without really tearing anything. And further, if it was really, really adhered, I could come back to it later and twist it and take it off if I really wanted to replace it. And I'm probably not going to want to replace it, but in the event, I adjust the triangles off a bit or whatever. So now I'm going to put my glue over here, just on my left side, and really that's all that I need. I'm I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And I'm going to come in. I'm going to pick it up. And now I'm going to square it up and make sure that I like it aligned at the top and I like it aligned at the bottom. I'm going to look at it. Do I like it? Yep. I'm going to open it up. Do I like it? Yep. So now I'm going to press this down over here. That's really all the glue that I needed. I only needed it on the left side. I don't need it on the right side. Would be bad if it was on the right side. And now I can come back in. This is probably actually fine, but I can come back in and just lift it in some other sections. I'm not going right next to the edge, right? I'm going like half an inch in, and I'm just going all the way around. And I'm not putting that much glue. I'm going like more than half an inch in. I'm going far enough in that when I come in and give it a good burnish, it's not going to ooze out of the sides. So now I've done that. And you guys, that's it. That is the meat of it. I will come in and further show you some of the decoration. So this card was commissioned by a friend. She turned 80 and I made her a really beautiful, if I say so myself, a beautiful 80th birthday card. And she loved it. And she said, I know 4 people turning 80 this year and I would love to like have them experience the same wow that I did. And she wanted 4 different ones. So I've been making different ones. This is one. This is one. And now this is going to be the 3rd different one with this designer series paper, which is beautifully gorgeous and amazing. I'll show you that card up close more in a little bit. That designer series paper is Lovely and Beautiful. I think it may not be available right now, but I think it'll be coming back in stock, and it really is lovely and beautiful. But here's the thing, you guys, you can make this with anything. I mean, I showed you the Valentine. You can make it with Valentine. I'll show you that more closer. I showed it with the that beautiful in color paper. So you can make it with anything. And here's the thing that I like to do. I'm going to pause for a second. These 80s are rolled out in our I think alphabet a la mode dies. What are they called? Alphabet a la mode dies. And what I want to show you is I put our adhesive on the back, self-adhesive sheet on the back. So I rolled it through on the gold foil, but I used our self-adhesive sheet so that I can make a little sticker out of it. And then to get the sticker piece of it, I just use my take your pick tool. So I'm going to do the 80 in the upper right corner, like so, and I'm not going to press it down really hard until I put the 8 and I see that I like the alignment. The 8 goes in a certain direction. So, and sometimes I use our tweezers to get it exactly placed. Again, I'm not going to push it down all the way. I'm going to get it straight how I like it. And then when I feel like one's not lower than the other, I'm not there yet. Hold on, usually do it closer to me. Okay, that looks better. So I'm kind of pressing it in the middle. I'm not pressing it all the way in case I need to lift it up. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, that looks good. So now I'm going to press it down all the way. That's it. To glue it on this guy. Now these dies are the beautifully celebrated dies. And what I want to tell you is I have a very similar set of dies in my retired shop. I'll put a link down below. So you can either get the current dies that are beautifully celebrated, or you can, it's like label framelets. So you can get those. I'll have the link down below to those. But I'm just, so to put this label on, I'm lining up top to bottom, and I'm lining up left to right. So I've got that. And then I forgot, I've been putting this little vellum guy underneath. So I'll come back in and add him, but just for demonstration purposes, you'll have your little vellum piece right there. And then this guy, I'm kind of changing it up a little bit. I'm not going to put so much ornamentation on it just because I think the gold and white really just speaks for itself. But I was just going to take these Petals of Beauty flowers in fresh freesia and kind of come in like that and just have a nice little touch. Put some Wink of Stella on it and put some gems kind of around it. So that's going to be one version. This is going to be another one that she gets. And this paper has been a little tough to work with, I think, but I actually quite love how this worked out. And so that was a sweet version. Here's the other. So this is number 3. And just on the inside, I put a smaller label with a couple gems. Those are the Banner Sayings stamps. And the pearlized faceted circles, gems, and the gold foil and vellum. Those are 3. So that's that guy. A couple other like variations. One variation is, if you notice this card, she's got, I received this in a swap. She's got a triangle on each side. And so that's a completely different set of instructions. I have done it where I wasn't as perfect about lining up the triangles, which really is a beautiful act of beauty. And you can see she's got it lined everywhere. I took some shortcuts on mine. But you can just take this square and cut it in half. You can just take this square and trim it all the way in the middle. And it actually looks, I did it. It was a really whimsical card. It was a little less elegant, but it was really whimsical. So that's a variation for that guy. Other variations, well, these are actually, I thought these were different because I was using different pieces of the designer series paper, but they ended up looking kind of the same. So I've got these available if anybody wants to buy them. And where was my other 42? So there's this guy. Again, on the 2-tone cardstock. It's a little thinner. I think it'll mail better. The colors just work. They're just super fun. And those are our stylish shapes. And the final one, it's not finished, but I thought I would give you just a little tip about it. If you don't have 12 by 12 paper, and I didn't put this anywhere, so take a screenshot of it. You can take a 4 by 4.5, score at 2 and 4. You can take a 4 by 8, score at 2 and 4, and then you can just kind of glue these together. This is just regular, nice, thick cardstock, but then you can glue it together and you can get your, then you'll have your 12 inches, right? So 4 by 4.5, score at 2 and 4, 4 by 8, score at 2 and 4, and then glue it together on that kind of 1/2 inch tab. And then I was just, I don't know, just playing with this splash paper. I made a card the other day with that, but then I gave it away. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining today. And final thing I will tell you, I do have a challenge every month. It's February right now, but every Wednesday I do free Zoom classes where we stamp along. I get the draft PDF out ahead of time. We make these cards, and then I come out with the final version in the video like right after that. So if you want to see this done in all different designs, my regulars, hello to my regulars, come to the stamp along every free Wednesday. I'll put that info below too. And then they participate in the challenge. So you can see all different products Stampin' Up, all different ways to render this. So I'm one who believes use your stuff and make it yours. So thank you so much for joining today. Bye-bye.